So, Yunli's out. I pulled for her. Just off the rip, I want to tell you what she looks like. As of right now, this is my Yunli. 9152. Technically speaking, in combat, it's going to be 9252 because she gives herself 100% crit damage. She's using her signature, it's S1. She's E0. She's using her dedicated set and dedicated SU set. These are the pieces. She's using speed boots because my attack boots did not roll that well. And for traces, she's almost maxed out. I will be maxing her out later today. Now, for reference, this is my Clara. Fully maxed out, using physical set because her SU set doesn't matter as much. Eidolons, she's E2. Off the bat, I want to say, Clara is not better than Yunli. In fact, I think for most of you, hypothetically speaking, if you have an E0 Yunli and an E0 Clara, Clara is going to be comparable. And in a lot of scenarios, I'm going to say probably easier for many of you to play. Yunli does have some potential. She nukes better. She does damage better in most circumstances, but you do need to worry about timing her. Now, that may not be an issue for you, so let's ignore that. Yunli gets a lot of value from her LC. Like a lot of value, strictly because of that increased aggro. So hypothetically, let's say you're saving for somebody else in the future. Maybe you're going for Sparkle. You need to consider the fact that Yunli is almost similar to Acheron with the reliance on that LC. Because if you don't want to go for her LC, you have to kind of pair her with Lynx for that aggro increase. Meaning you can't run somebody like HoYoverse or another sustain. And even if hypothetically speaking you wanted to go for Fushuan, you're missing out on that increased aggro. That is a downside. I think for the vast majority of you, if you're considering at any point, maybe a light cone, maybe an Eidolon, then yes, Yunli will perform better than your Clara. And even though I can and have tried pairing them together in a team, for most circumstances, it just doesn't work as well. Yes, Yunli has some ramp up time with this SU set, don't get me wrong. Her planar ornaments, they have that ramp up time associated with them because they do want multiple attacks to be done. But that doesn't mean Clara is a good pair. Because Clara also wants to be hit and there's not enough guaranteed AoE attacks, it doesn't work out as well as in my hope. I initially thought it was going to be quite fine, but in my initial viewing and me playing around with her, Yunli is mainly just the one countering all the time because Clara isn't being hit as much. Secondarily, you need to consider what's an attack. In MOC, there is currently a few bosses. In Pure Fiction, yes, she's going to perform wonderfully. And in Apocalyptic Shadow, I'd even say she performs quite great. But in cases where you are being applied a debuff, Yunli does not count that as being attacked, and so her counter won't work. She's incredibly cute. Her animations are exceptional. Her facial expressions exceptional. I like the VA. I like everything about this character, and I think that for the vast majority of you, if you are in a position to where your account is set and you like her, go for her. But the more Eidolons your Clara gets, if you have her, the more her superimposition to her LC gets, if you have that, the better Clara can become. Clara does not have the exceptional Eidolons that Yunli has. Clara is not just getting a flat damage percentage buff. Clara is not getting Death Ignore. Clara is not getting crit and resistance penetration. But Clara is standard. I want to make that very clear. Another point you have to wonder about is, do you even have the right teammates? Yes, Yunli's best team in theory is going to be Yunli paired with a Sparkle, paired with a Ting Yuan, a HoYoverse, or a Robin. But Sparkle works in any team. And hypothetically speaking, if you like me and use Acheron with Mono Quantum's team, Sparkle is basically locked out. HoYoverse is exceptional, sure. I don't like her new VA. I don't know why they replaced the Mr. Tail VA and HoYoverse herself, especially considering HoYoverse's original VA is Lucy and AZZZ, but whatever. That's a different circumstance. I still think she performs wonderfully together, and I do think having HoYoverse does make her work wonderfully if you have that LC, of course, because you get the debuff dispel, you get a nice attack increase, you get energy. But once again, having a Robin or somebody else who can specifically buff these follow-up attacks is going to be better for you. If you're not dealing with an enemy who can be afflicted with taunts, or if your Yunli is in any way, shape, or form debuffed to where she's not applying her taunt or you're able to use her ultimate, then her damage drops off. It's the same issue as Clara, it's just Yunli has a better way of ensuring that she's hits. And I know I'm repeating myself with this, but I want to be very clear. I like Yunli. She's an exceptional character. I adore this girl. I would go all in for that E6. But for most of you, she doesn't offer enough, in my opinion, to be worthwhile. If you want single target, go with Boot Hill. If you're looking for a follow-up, Clara's here, and many of you may already have her built. And as of right now, Sparkle's next patch. Well, not even next patch, next half of the banner. HoYoverse is here now. If you're going beyond that, Lingsha and Fei Zhao are coming soon, and Lingsha is rumored to be a Firefly support. And if you have Firefly, you might want that. Although Lingsha is kind of dependent on that E1 to really be exceptional, in my opinion. Otherwise, she's just worse Ron Mei, but abundance. But that's beside the point. I think that Yunli coming as she is now is kind of in an opposition, because you have two units who are already exceptional in the DPS category and two units who don't really have a set team for them that works well, and many individuals will be trying to complete that team. If you have Acheron, yes, Mono Quantum works beautifully, but It's not really dedicated for Acheron with debuff application because Fu Xuan isn't applying debuffs and neither is somebody like Sparkle. You have, in Firefly's case, Harmony MC. Don't get me wrong, Harmony MC is cool, wonderful, great. But many of you may not want to build Gallagher. I don't like Gallagher. I don't like him at all. I don't like his voice. I don't like his anything about him. So I'm not building him. And if you don't like Ron May, don't have Ron May, then your Firefly team is severely lagging behind. And so you may be looking for supports that are dedicated for her. And you could adore Yunli. But for most people, if you are still lacking that core team that can clear constant first half and second half, then it's probably more beneficial for you to wait for Yunli, skip her now, wait for a rerun, and then go for the other core units to complete your rest of your teams. If you are already set though, go for her. I do want to take note. First off, I would prioritize S1, then I prioritize E1. S1 allows you to use any other sustain because you don't have to worry about her aggro, so you can go for HoYoverse. If you're considering anything like that, go for S1, whatever else you have, sustain-wise or whatever, you can stop them with. You can even stop somebody like Fu Xuan with her, and then go for her E1. E2 isn't that good. It's good from a numbers standpoint. But if you're not pairing her with somebody like an E2 Sparkle, if you're not pairing her with a Pella, then that E2 loses a lot of value. So if you just want pure flexibility, go for E1, S1, and that's it, and go for whoever else you want to complete her team. She's a cute character, she performs really well, she's really strong, she nukes quite well, but she's not a must pull, she's not even a almost must pull. She's a nice to have, and I want to make that clear. She's the equivalent to a Blade. When you need her, when you have a position where she can work, she's exceptional. But other times, you won't feel like you're lagging behind, especially if you have Clara. But that's my opinions. Tell me yours down below. I understand you can love her. I'm not saying she's bad. I think she's cute. I summoned for her because I simp. So do what you want. Either way, I'll see you next time.